Chosen one. Have you ever felt the quiet tension before a miracle unfolds? That strange stillness in the air when heaven itself seems to be holding its breath, watching, waiting, preparing something beyond what you can imagine. Maybe lately you've been walking through days that feel heavy, confusing, almost too quiet, as if the world has turned its back on you. But let me tell you something powerful. That silence is not absence. That stillness is divine preparation. God is not ignoring you. He's preparing a table, and not just any table, a table in front of your enemies. You see, this message isn't for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart, not for those who gave up the first time life bruised them. This message is for the ones who kept walking when everything in them wanted to quit, for the ones who were betrayed by people they would have died for the ones who cried alone but still chose to believe. Yes, I'm talking to you, chosen one. The very fact that you're here listening to these words is not an accident. Heaven orchestrated this moment so you could understand what's happening behind the veil. Because right now, as you stand in the tension between pain and promise, God is setting something divine in motion, something that will silence every voice that ever mocked you. If you've ever asked, why do they hate me when I've done nothing wrong? Or why does it seem like I'm always under attack when all I ever wanted was peace? You need to know there's a reason. The rejection wasn't random. The warfare wasn't punishment. The isolation wasn't coincidence. It was divine positioning. God had to pull you away from the noise so he could prepare your reward. You're not being left out. You're being set apart. There's a sacred difference between the two. And I know, sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes it feels like you're forgotten, like the prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, like the very people who wronged you are the ones thriving while you're just trying to survive. But what if I told you that very contrast is part of the prophecy? What if I told you that while they're feasting on temporary victories, God is building a banquet of eternal favor just for you? Because make no mistake, the same eyes that watched you suffer will one day watch you shine. The same voices that whispered against you will one day whisper your name in awe. You don't have to fight for revenge. You don't have to prove anything. God himself is preparing the stage for your vindication. The psalmist once said, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Those aren't just poetic words. That's a divine blueprint. It means that when the battle ends, when the season of tears has run its course, God doesn't just restore you privately. He honors you publicly. He brings the very ones who doubted you close enough to see what he's doing in your life, but not close enough to touch it. He lets them witness, but not partake. They'll see your rise, but they won't be able to stop it. That's the kind of God you serve, the one who transforms humiliation into holy elevation. You may be thinking, but why does it take so long? Why does God allow me to walk through so much pain before he shows his hand? Because preparation takes time, because the table he's setting for you isn't made of cheap wood. It's carved from the finest materials of destiny. Every delay, every heartbreak, every betrayal, those were ingredients in the meal he's preparing. The pain was seasoning your strength. The waiting was stretching your faith. The silence was purifying your heart. Nothing was wasted. You see, chosen ones don't get ordinary tables. They don't sit in common places. They're called to dine in divine presence. That means your path had to be different. Your process had to be harder. Your waiting had to be longer, because your blessing will be greater. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. And that's exactly why the enemy targeted you so fiercely. You carry something he can't destroy, the light of divine promise. Maybe you've noticed how certain people couldn't stand your peace, how your very existence seemed to irritate their demons. You didn't even have to say anything, just your presence, your energy. Your light was enough to expose the darkness in them. They called you strange, too spiritual, too intense, too much. But heaven saw the truth. You were never too much. You were exactly enough for the calling you carry. And now, The time has come for what was hidden to be revealed. There's a shift happening in the spirit realm. The same hands that once threw stones will soon tremble with realization. The same lips that gossiped will fall silent when they see what God has been doing behind closed doors. You won't need to shout, "I told you so." The favor on your life will do all the talking. The glow that can't be faked, the peace that can't be shaken, that will be your testimony. And when they look at you, they'll know that God truly was with you all along. So if you feel like you're in a strange waiting season, like nothing is moving, like heaven's been quiet, don't lose heart. God hasn't forgotten your name. The invitations have gone out in heaven's court. The table is being set, and every trial, every injustice, every lonely night, it's been counted, remembered, and redeemed. You're about to see why it all had to happen the way it did. The pain was part of the prophecy. The silence was sacred, and now the feast is near. This is your confirmation. You are not invisible. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared. The host of heaven is aligning your steps, your blessings, your destiny. You are being positioned for public honor. The same ground where you were mocked will become the ground of your manifestation. The same place where you were dismissed will become the place where you are celebrated. God doesn't waste pain. He transforms it into purpose. Every tear you cried watered the soil of your next miracle. So, chosen one, I invite you to open your spirit and listen closely, because in this video you will understand why everything you've endured was necessary. You will understand why the attacks came so fiercely. You will understand why God waited until now. Heaven has been silent for a reason, because God was preparing your stage. And now, the curtain is about to rise. You've felt it, haven't you? That invisible resistance that seems to rise up whenever you're close to a breakthrough. You try to love, but people misunderstand you. You try to help, but they question your motives. You try to stay quiet, but even your silence becomes a threat to those who can't stand the light within you. There's something different about you, and the world can feel it, even when you can't explain it. That difference is not a curse, it's a calling, but it's also the reason why you've walked through such deep valleys. The chosen ones rarely have an easy path. Their story is always marked by rejection before elevation, by warfare before worship, by hidden seasons before holy revelation. And that's what many people don't understand. They see your current struggle and think it's evidence of failure, when in truth, it's proof of divine selection. You are not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're anointed. You carry something eternal, something ancient, something heaven ordained. And darkness always tries to strike what carries light. Think back to your life, to those moments when everything seemed to fall apart without warning. Maybe friends turned cold overnight. Maybe family started acting distant. Maybe doors you were sure would open slammed in your face. Maybe people you loved became strangers. It wasn't random. It wasn't punishment. It was spiritual strategy. God allowed the shaking so the fake could fall away. He removed what couldn't go where you're destined to go. Because not everyone deserves a seat at your table, especially not those who secretly wanted to see you fall. And I know it hurt. The betrayal, the false accusations, the whispered lies that spread faster than truth. You tried to defend yourself, but no one listened. You tried to explain your heart, but they twisted your words. You prayed for peace, but chaos surrounded you. You wanted to be loved, but you were met with jealousy and disdain. Those moments broke something in you, didn't they? They made you question whether God was even listening. You asked him, why me? Why do I have to be the one always misunderstood, always tested, always fighting battles no one else can see? But heaven's answer was never silence out of neglect. It was silence filled with strategy. Because God knows that if he explained every battle, you would try to fix it in your own strength. So instead, he stayed quiet while he fought for you behind the scenes. Every time they tried to block your blessing, he turned it into redirection. Every time they spoke against you, he recorded their words and added it to the testimony he's writing about your victory. You see, while you were busy trying to survive, heaven was busy setting the scene for your divine display. There's a reason why your spirit feels so ancient, why your heart carries wisdom far beyond your years. You were forged in fire, refined in solitude, trained in silence. And while others were celebrating temporary wins, you were being molded for eternal purpose. You don't just walk through trials, you carry revelation out of them. You don't just survive storms, you learn to command the wind. You're not just enduring seasons of loss, you're being prepared to guide others through theirs. You are the evidence that pain can be holy when it's surrendered to purpose. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. For years, he lived as if God had abandoned him. But all along, heaven was weaving a plan. When the time came, the very brothers who betrayed him had to bow before him, not out of worship, but out of realization. God had used what they meant for harm and turned it into honor. That's what's happening in your story, too. You may be in the pit right now, but the palace is already written in your destiny. You may feel overlooked, but your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered. You may feel invisible, but heaven is watching closely, preparing your reward. You see, the hardest part about being chosen is being misunderstood. People think you're arrogant when you're just confident in God. They think you're distant when you're simply guarding your spirit. They call you strange because your calling doesn't fit their expectations. You don't belong to the crowd, and you never will. You're not meant to conform, you're meant to transform. That's why isolation became your teacher. That's why rejection became your redirection. God had to separate you from the noise so you could hear his voice. Even Jesus, the ultimate chosen one, experienced this. The same people who shouted Hosanna one day were shouting Crucify him the next. The same disciples who swore loyalty fell asleep in his agony. Yet even then, Jesus didn't curse the darkness. He understood that every betrayal, every denial, every moment of suffering was part of a greater redemption story. He had to walk alone before he could rise in glory. And the same pattern echoes in your life. The cross always comes before the crown. So when you look around and see that the people who once loved you are gone, don't weep over who left. Rejoice for what's coming. The betrayal had to happen so revelation could arrive. The isolation had to happen so preparation could begin. Because the table God is preparing for you isn't a casual meal. It's a declaration of divine justice. Those who plotted your downfall will witness your divine rise. Those who mocked your pain will marvel at your peace. Those who tried to bury your name will see it elevated higher than ever before. But until that moment comes, the in-between can feel unbearable. You wake up every day wondering if the season will ever shift. You try to stay strong, but your heart feels heavy. You try to pray, but the words won't come. You look around and wonder why your enemies are prospering while you're still struggling. But don't be deceived by appearances. Their tables are temporary. Yours is eternal. Their success is borrowed. Yours is built by heaven. And when God sets your table, no one can take your seat. So, chosen one, understand this. What you're going through is not evidence of abandonment. It's proof of preparation. God is teaching you discernment through disappointment, patience through pain, and strength through stillness. You're not being punished. You're being promoted in disguise. And though you can't see it yet, the divine shift has already begun. The ground beneath your feet is trembling with destiny. The angels assigned to your life are already positioning the chairs. The host of heaven is already lighting the candles. Because soon, very soon, you will walk into a moment that makes every tear worth it. You will understand why the enemies had to gather, not to destroy you, but to witness the feast. And when that day comes, you won't even recognize the version of yourself that once cried over their rejection. You'll look back and smile because you'll see it clearly now. God was never punishing you. He was preparing your table. Now, chosen one, Let's pull back the veil and look at what's really happening beneath the surface, because what you call confusion is actually divine choreography. What feels like loss is often the first act of restoration. You see, God rarely announces his preparation. He hides it in ordinary days, in strange encounters, in sudden endings. And while you think you're being left behind, heaven is actually moving pieces in your favor, positioning you where glory and justice will meet. There are signs, if you look closely, that reveal God is preparing your table. The first sign is divine separation. When God is about to elevate you, he starts cutting ties, not out of cruelty, but out of mercy. Suddenly, people you thought you needed begin to drift away. Conversations that once fed you now drain you. Environments that once felt familiar begin to feel foreign. You don't fit anymore, and it confuses you. But that discomfort is the hand of God gently pulling you out of the crowd and back into his chambers. Because not everyone who started with you deserves to dine with you. Not everyone who said they loved you was capable of sitting quietly when God begins to bless you. So he removes them early to protect the peace he's preparing later. It's painful when it happens. You want to hold on. You try to fix it. You tell yourself, maybe it's just a phase. But deep down, your spirit knows. The season is shifting. You can feel the closing of one chapter even as you mourn it. That's the paradox of being chosen. You lose things you love in order to make room for things divine. You weep over what's leaving, but heaven rejoices because something greater is coming. Every goodbye is a hidden thank you from the future. The second sign is divine exposure. Before God exalts you, he reveals what's been hiding around you. He shows you people's true colors, not to make you bitter, but to make you wiser. You start seeing things you were once blind to. The masks fall, the motives surface. You realize who was clapping for your wins only because they thought they could control you. You discover who was praying for you and who was praying against you. These revelations hurt, but they heal you. Because God won't let you sit at your divine table with hidden enemies disguised as friends. He exposes before he elevates. If you've recently gone through a season where people revealed their true nature, where betrayal, gossip, or abandonment came out of nowhere, don't curse that exposure. Thank God for it. It means he's clearing the room for your unveiling. It means your feast is near. The third sign is divine reversal. Everything that once worked against you starts to work for you. Opportunities you thought were gone begin to resurface. People who dismissed you suddenly remember your name. Doors that once slammed shut begin to creak open again, but this time you walk through them differently. You don't beg anymore. You don't chase. You walk with authority because you know who sent you. That's what happens when you've been through the fire and didn't burn. You stop needing validation from those who once ignored your worth. You understand now that favor is not a coincidence, it's a covenant. And with that revelation comes the fourth sign, divine stillness. When God is preparing your table, everything slows down. The noise fades, the distractions fall away. It feels like life has pressed pause, but it's not a pause, it's preservation. God is insulating you from unnecessary battles while he finishes the preparation. You may not see movement, but things are moving. You may not hear progress, but heaven is busy. You may not feel strength, but the Spirit is fortifying you. This is the hidden grace of stillness, the moment before manifestation when heaven calibrates your destiny. That's why you've been feeling that quiet pull to be alone lately. That's why your spirit has been craving peace more than attention. You're not losing interest in life. You're maturing spiritually. Your spirit knows that something sacred is near. And when that moment comes, you'll see the fifth sign, divine unveiling. This is when everything suddenly makes sense. When the dots connect. When the pain finally reveals its purpose. It's when you realize that the enemies who tried to destroy you actually built the platform you'll stand on. Every insult became a stepping stone. Every lie pushed you closer to truth. Every loss opened space for new blessing. God's wisdom is not always in explanation, it's in revelation. And when He finally unveils what He's been doing, even you will be in awe of how perfectly it all fits together. Think of David. He wasn't invited to the anointing ceremony, but heaven had already chosen him. When Samuel poured oil on his head, his family didn't understand. When he stood before Goliath, the crowd mocked him. Yet when God prepared his table, the same ones who doubted him had to watch his coronation. They couldn't deny what God had done. That's your story too, chosen one. The oil on your life is undeniable. Even your enemies will have to acknowledge it. They may not like you, but they won't be able to deny the favor that surrounds you. And here's the lesson in all of this. When God prepares a table in front of your enemies, it's not just about vindication. It's about elevation without bitterness. Because the real victory isn't proving them wrong, it's thriving in peace while they're still watching. God's plan was never to shame them. It was to showcase His glory through you, to show that His children don't rise through revenge, but through redemption. That's the mark of the true chosen ones. They don't return hate for hate, they let God turn hate into harvest. So, if you've noticed these signs, the separations, the exposures, the reversals, the stillness, the unveiling, understand that you're standing on holy ground. The atmosphere around your life is pregnant with destiny. The banquet of your breakthrough is being prepared, and your name is engraved on every plate. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit can already sense it. The heaviness you've felt lately isn't depression, it's transition. The tiredness isn't defeat, it's spiritual labor. You're birthing the next chapter of your divine assignment. When heaven sets a table, it's not just for eating, it's for revealing. It's where God publicly affirms what He whispered in private. It's where the invisible becomes visible. It's where the rejected are reintroduced, not by their pain, but by their purpose. That's what's happening now, a reintroduction. The world thought it knew you, but God is about to reveal who you truly are. You won't need to defend your name anymore. God will do it through the evidence of your elevation. So, chosen one, keep your heart pure as God prepares your table. Don't let bitterness contaminate your blessing. Don't let revenge distract you from revelation. Don't rush what heaven is arranging, because when it's your time, it will be undeniable. The light of your destiny will shine so brightly that even those who once doubted you will have to admit, surely the hand of God is upon this one. And when you finally sit at that table, you'll understand it was never about your enemies at all. It was about your evolution. It was about becoming the version of yourself that could handle divine honor without losing humility. The table isn't a trophy, it's a testimony. It's heaven's way of saying, you made it through the fire and you still have love in your heart. Now eat and be at peace. Chosen one, this is the hour heaven has been preparing you for. You've walked through darkness so deep that even angels wept for your endurance. You've faced storms that could have buried anyone else, but somehow you're still standing, bruised, yes, but still radiant, still burning with a quiet fire that refuses to die. That's not coincidence, that's covenant. You are living proof that God's promises cannot be drowned by pain. Every tear you shed became a seed of glory, and now those seeds are about to bloom in front of every eye that once looked down on you. For so long, you were hidden. For so long, you walked through valleys no one knew existed. You smiled through heartbreak, worshipped through warfare, kept giving when you had nothing left. And though no one applauded you, heaven took note. The host of angels recorded every silent victory. Every night you chose faith instead of fear. Every morning you rose when your soul begged to sleep forever. You thought no one saw it, but heaven did. And now the same God who watched you in secret is about to reward you in public. Hear this clearly. Your table is not being prepared in secret corners anymore. It's being set on the mountaintop of visibility. You're about to walk into rooms you didn't even apply for, receive calls you never expected, and be honored in places that once rejected you. And when people ask, "How did this happen?" you'll smile because you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was God. The same God who whispered, "Be still," when all you wanted to do was fight back. The same God who said, "Forgive them," when everything in you wanted revenge. The same God who said, "Keep walking," when your legs trembled beneath the weight of your cross. That's who you are, a carrier of divine endurance. You didn't crumble under the pressure because your roots were anchored in eternity. You didn't lose your mind because heaven held your heart. You didn't lose your soul because your pain was an altar, not a grave. Every wound became a doorway. Every scar became a story. And now you are the living testimony that God truly prepares a table before His chosen in the presence of their enemies. Can you feel it? The shift in the air, the weight lifting from your spirit? That's not imagination. That's transition. The season of being overlooked is ending. The season of divine demonstration has begun. You're stepping into a realm where your peace will confuse your enemies. Your glow will silence their gossip, and your favor will preach louder than any sermon ever could. You won't have to say a word. The glory resting on your life will do all the speaking. And I hear the Spirit saying, "They will see you rise, and they will know that I am with you." You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to chase validation. The same mouths that once mocked you will now carry your testimony. The same eyes that rolled in disdain will now widen in awe, because when God exalts, He does it in a way that no man can reverse. You are stepping into irreversible favor, unshakable peace, and undeniable grace. You are walking into a table so radiant with divine abundance that even your old wounds will start to glow with purpose. But hear me, chosen one, this table is not just a meal, it's a commissioning. When God sits you down in the presence of your enemies, He's not only feeding you, He's anointing you. He's crowning you with wisdom, dressing you in authority, and sending you into the world as a living message. You are no longer just someone who survived. You are someone who represents heaven's victory. You carry the fragrance of divine restoration, and everywhere you go, people will feel it. This is what your pain purchased: clarity, discernment, compassion. You see now what others can't. You recognize falsehood from truth, manipulation from love. You no longer chase what distracts you. You protect what feeds you. That's what it means to sit at God's table, to eat only what nourishes your destiny. The days of begging for crumbs from people who never valued you are over. The table God sets is overflowing. Your cup will run over, not so you can boast, but so you can bless others who are still in their valley. And that's the secret, the divine mystery hidden in the psalm. The table isn't just for you, it's through you. God blesses you so that others can see His goodness. He heals you so others know healing is possible. He elevates you so others can believe again. Every battle you survived becomes a lamp to guide someone else through their darkness. You were never meant to eat alone. You were meant to become the proof that God still restores, still defends, still redeems. Remember what the scripture says: "You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." That's not just poetry, that's prophecy. The oil signifies divine authority. The overflowing cup means you will have more than enough. Peace beyond understanding, joy without reason, abundance without striving, and your enemies will see it. But here's the beauty of it. By the time they see your table, you won't even care about revenge anymore. You'll be too busy rejoicing, because your heart, purified through pain, will no longer seek validation from those who once despised you. You'll just smile and say, "God did this." This is your moment of redefinition. The wilderness taught you who you are not. This feast will reveal who you are. You are not the wounded one anymore. You are the risen one. You are not the forgotten one. You are the favored one. You are not the outcast. You are the evidence that the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Your very existence now challenges every lie the enemy ever told about you. You are the walking proof that grace outruns gossip and favor silences falsehood. Lift your head, chosen one, wipe your tears, straighten your crown. This is your divine coronation. You have been through the fire and emerged refined. You have been through storms and learned to walk on waves. You have been through betrayal and learned to love anyway. That's royalty. That's divine maturity. That's the mark of those who truly dine with God. And when you sit at that table, look around you. The enemies who once plotted your downfall won't understand how you're still smiling. They'll see the glow of peace on your face and know this one was protected. This one was chosen. This one walked through hell but never smelled of smoke. Because that's what divine protection looks like. Not the absence of fire, but the miracle of coming out untouched. So let the trumpets of heaven sound. Let the fragrance of victory fill the room. Let every promise that was delayed now be delivered. You've waited long enough. You've suffered quietly long enough. You've carried the vision through sleepless nights and silent tears long enough. Now it's time to sit, time to eat, time to rise. Because this is the feast of fulfillment, the hour when God's faithfulness becomes visible, tangible, undeniable. The hour when your story becomes the sermon, your endurance becomes the evidence, and your table becomes the testimony. So breathe, chosen one. Heaven has finished setting the table. The candles are lit. The oil is poured. The feast is ready. And your seat, your sacred, rightful seat, is waiting for you, chosen ones. As we come to the end of this divine message, I want you to take a deep breath and let every word that has been spoken in this moment sink deep into your spirit. You have not stumbled upon this message by accident. You were divinely led here, drawn by a frequency that only the chosen can recognize. Because in your heart, you already knew something sacred is unfolding. Heaven is not distant anymore. The silence you once felt has been broken. God is moving, and He is preparing something extraordinary just for you. You see, every trial, every betrayal, every dark night you thought would never end was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to position you. The pain was not a punishment, it was preparation. God was teaching you how to eat at the table. He's preparing. With dignity, with humility, and with power. When people lied about you, they were unknowingly becoming witnesses to your testimony. When they mocked your faith, they were sharpening your endurance. When they turned their backs, God turned His face toward you. The same people who questioned your worth will soon watch you walk into rooms they were never invited to. The same ones who whispered that you'd never rise will see your elevation and wonder how you made it. And when they do, you won't need to say a word. The light of God upon your life will speak louder than any defense. This is the essence of the psalm. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Chosen one, that table is not about revenge. It's about revelation. It's about showing the world what divine timing looks like. It's not about shaming those who hurt you. It's about showing them grace while you shine, because the same mercy that lifted you from the ashes is available to them too. But first, they must see what God can do through someone they tried to break. And here's the truth many don't understand. When God sets your table, He doesn't rush. He takes His time because the feast must be perfect. Every seat, every plate, every detail is placed with purpose. While you were crying, He was cooking. While you were waiting, He was arranging. While you were isolated, He was decorating your destiny. And when it's finally ready, He will lead you into that room, and every eye that once looked down on you will have to look up. This is not just a table of blessings. It's a table of identity. It's the moment where heaven confirms what hell tried to erase, that you are chosen, anointed, and covered. And as you sit at that table, you will feel something holy, peace. Not the fragile peace that the world offers, but the kind that makes you smile even when storms still surround you, because you'll know you are no longer fighting alone. There will come a day when you'll look back on this exact season and whisper, "It was worth it." every tear, every delay, every disappointment, because through it all, you didn't lose faith. You didn't lose yourself. You didn't lose your light. You kept walking even when the road was dark. You kept praying even when God was silent. You kept believing even when nothing made sense. And because of that, heaven recorded your endurance. You didn't just survive, you transformed. The pain didn't end you, it initiated you. The fire you walked through purified you. You now carry a depth that can't be faked, a wisdom that can't be taught, and a glow that comes only from walking with God. That is why people stare at you without understanding why. That is why you attract both light and resistance, because your spirit radiates a victory that cannot be hidden. Chosen one, the time for hiding is over. The season of silence has ended. You are entering the manifestation phase, the moment where what was prophesied becomes visible. What you once prayed for will soon be placed in your hands, not because you chased it, but because you became ready to receive it. And I want to remind you, your elevation does not require the approval of others. God does not need a committee to bless you. He does not check with your critics before promoting you. When heaven says yes, no force in hell can say no. That's why, even in your lowest moments, something in you refused to die, because you were marked by divine promise. You are evidence that God can turn mourning into laughter, rejection into direction, and pain into power. So, as you step forward into this new chapter, walk with boldness. Speak life over yourself. Wake up every morning declaring, "My table is being prepared." Even when you can't see it, trust that it's happening, because the unseen is always more powerful than the visible. God is working behind the curtain of your circumstances, aligning every detail, every connection, every opportunity to serve your destiny. Now lift your head. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are covered. The oil upon your life is not ordinary, it is divine. You've been set apart, not because you are better, but because you are chosen to show what faithfulness looks like when everything seems impossible. You are walking proof that God's promises are real. And as this message comes to a close, I want to bless you. May every door that was once shut be opened in divine timing. May every betrayal turn into revelation. May every wound become wisdom. And may your table overflow, not just with blessings, but with purpose, love, and peace. You are no longer walking alone. Heaven is walking with you. Every step you take from this moment carries the vibration of destiny. Keep your eyes on the light, and do not be afraid when old energies try to return. They only do so when your blessing is near. If this message spoke to your soul, if you felt that stirring deep within you, that was heaven confirming what you already knew. You are the chosen one. And now I invite you. Share your testimony in the comments below. Write, "I am ready for my table," as a declaration that you're stepping into your season of divine reward. If this message awakens something in your spirit, like this video, subscribe for more prophetic messages that speak directly to your soul, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a divine word again. And remember, your enemies will watch, but they cannot touch what God has blessed. Your table is being prepared, and the feast will be glorious. Hold your peace, stay faithful, and trust the timing, because when it's your turn, no one can sit in your seat. This is your moment, chosen one. Heaven has spoken, the table is set, and your time has come.